Hi, this is Junior. I'm going to start my recording and I'm going to go to this website here. I'm not sure which area it's in. I think it's in this screen. It must be in this screen. I'm going to go right on over here. Might take a while. Okay. Well, it's my first time using this, so I don't know how this is really going to work. But I'm giving it my all, and I'm going to see if the audio works. Alright. Let's see if I can find something else. Like go to my email or something. Alright guys, this is a video of the muscular skeletal system. We've got the skeletal muscle microanatomy, and we also have some functions of the muscles of the head and neck. So we're gonna go ahead and break as much as we can down right now. I've got some paperwork here, and we got these screens here. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to look at is the muscle skeletal microanatomy. Skeletal muscle microanatomy. And we're going to look at the actin and the myosin. The actin is actually in, it would be number 9, which is in this area. And the myosin would be number 11. So you've got the actin and the myosin, and for these things put together, if you put them all together, it would be called a sarcomere. So you've got the sarcomere, and you've got the actin, and then you've got the myosin. Okay, next set of things we gotta know is the fibers, cell fibers, which is basically like the reticular fibers that is down in the back of this area. If you turn this whole thing around, you'd see the back base, which has the reticular fibers. Next thing is the sarcoplasm. Sarcoplasm is basically the same thing. No. The sarcoplasm is the cytoplasm, which is the sarcoplasmic reticulum, I'm guessing, which is number 17, which is right here. This pink stuff right here. This is the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is actually different. Oops, take that back. The sarcoplasm is not on this list. But we have the sarcoplasmic reticulum down packed. The next thing we're gonna look at is the myofibro. The myofibros is number 1, which is right here. Number 1 is the myofibros, and next thing we're going to look at is, let's see, we already talked about the sarcomere. Sarcolemma. Sarcolemma is also not here. That's weird. Why is it not here? Sarcolemma. Alright, we'll just skip that one. The transverse tubule is right here, number 15. This is the transverse tubule. You can take a closer look right here, as you can see. Okay, I'm gonna get out of there because it looks way too big. Okay. Now next thing we're gonna do is talk about the mitochondria. But first, before that, we have to talk about the terminus externa, which is, I think it's the same thing as the triads. Yeah. triad is number 16, which is these. See the tubes on top? See what I'm pointing at here? The tubes. You got that. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is talk about the mitochondria. We got to be quick about it. This is the mitochondria. Right, instantly. Mitochondria. There's a whole bunch of mitochondria in a particular muscle cell. There's mitochondria, there's myosin and actin. Myosin and actin needs troponin and tropomyosin in order to create a muscle contraction, as you can see. In order to create a muscle contraction, you need both of those filaments to constrict or stretch to create an effect on all your muscles, which is what helps to stretch it all out. Okay. I'm pretty sure we talked about all of them. We talked about the actin and myosin. I don't have the definitions for them, but as long as we know what's what and where they are, I think we'll have a good idea on what to do. On you'll have an idea. Okay, the next thing I just realized we need to talk about is the skeletal muscle coverings. Let's see something. Skeletal muscle coverings. Let's see if I can find that real quick. It's gonna take a minute because my computer's a little slow, sadly. Come on. Anyway, remember the neuromuscular junction. The neuromuscular junction is what actually helps us to. It helps our muscles to contract in a better way, I guess. In order for our muscles to contract, we have to have a nerve to help stimulate movement. So, just my 2 cents on that one. Okay. Okay, it's taking a while. I don't know why my computer's so slow. Let's see. Skeletal muscle. Not that. Okay. Alright, since that's taking a minute, we're going to go ahead and jump right into something else. We've got these muscles of the neck. They're very important to know. And I also need to grab some paperwork for those. The facial muscles, as you can see, you've got here. This is the epicranius, and if I click it, it's actually gonna say something, which I think is pretty cool, but I don't need that right now. And then you got the orbicularis oculi, which is your part of your eye. You've got your orbicularis oris, which is right here, part of your lips. And then you got your Urosaurus. This is the masseter. So you got your digastric belly, posterior belly. The digastric is in the lower part of your neck in that area. Let's see if I can find the paperwork real quick. You got your digastric, you got your sternohyoid, actually your sternohyoid, and then your sternothyroid, and then your omohyoid, which we don't need to know for this class. Then you've got your scalenes and your trapezius, sternocleidomastoid, which is the largest muscle in the neck. You got your zygomatic major and your zygomatic minors. The minors are always going to be on top of the majors. The majors will always be on the bottom, I think. Yeah. Let's see, what else were we looking at? I think that's it for this right now. The mentalis, of course, we know about that. The buccinator. The buccinator is in this area. So try to remember all these. Now, the problem is we've got to remember the that there are actions that deal with all of these muscles. And I actually need to find these actions. I don't remember where I put them. Let's see. Where could they be? Maybe. Find here. Ah, there you go. Found them. Cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get myself out of here, and we're gonna talk about these muscles. See you later. Alright, now we're gonna talk about these muscles. We've got the epicranius. The epicranius is basically the part of the top part of your head. Frontal belly, which really doesn't do any flexation. It doesn't flex or it really doesn't do anything. So I'm actually looking for an explanation on it. Well, there's nothing really. There's nothing on it. Yep. Alright. That's alright. Actually, hey, I take that back. Excuse me. Alright, you might have to give me a couple minutes, because I can't, there's some things that I just can't find right now. Alright, we're back. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the muscles of the head and neck. The epicranius is basically another word for the frontalis. The origin is the aponeurotica insertion. The action is that it raises the eyebrows and draws scalp. It draws the scalp anteriorly. So this right here is the epicranius, and it raises the eyebrows and draws the scalp anteriorly. Alright, the next thing we're going to talk about is the orbicularis oris, which is right here. The orbicularis oris, the action of it is the skin of the lips, and it actually closes the lips, opens and closes the lips. Alright, next one we're going to talk about is the orbicularis oculi, which is part of your eye, and it's not here, but it's not highlighted, but that's okay. This part is your orbicularis oculi, and the action of that is it opens and closes your eyelid. Okay. Next one is your masseter. Your masseter is here, which the action of the masseter is that it closes the mandible. It opens and closes. Well, it closes the mandible. Let's just stay there. Keep it at that. All right. Next one is the temporalis, which is not on this. It's not here, but well, it's actually supposed to be right in this area. Literally, right above the ear. That's where your temporalis is. The action of your temporalis is that it helps to close the mandible. So if you were to grind your teeth, not grind, but press your teeth together in a downward position, like how I'm talking, I'm sure you can do the same thing. Your mandible will close. Alright, now the next thing we're going to talk about is our sternocleidomastoid. The action of your sternocleidomastoid is that it abducts, it rotates, and flexes the head. Again, the action of the sternocleidomastoid abducts, rotates, and flexes the head. Alright, cool. Do I have any rhomboids? Are there any rhomboids here? There are no rhomboids. There's the trapezius. Your trapezius is here too. Alright, the action for your trapezius, make sure you remember this one, it extends and abducts your head, rotates and adducts the scapula, and it actually fixes the scapula. Alright? Cool. Alright, let's see what else we have. Let me go to another thing. We're going to see if I can get to another one. Okay, cool. What else do we have? Like I said before, we talked about the temporalis. The buccinator, we did not talk about that one. Let's see what they have in store for the buccinator. Buccinator is basically your cheek. I don't think it really does much. It's your cheek muscle. Let's see. Your buccinator. Just know that that's the buccinator. Honestly, just know that that's what that is. Because at this point, with the final, that's probably what we're gonna need to at least know. We're gonna have to know what the we have to know what the action of the buccinator is, and I don't have that with me. However, there are some other things that I have with me that we can talk about. Maybe not. Let's see. You've got your mentalis, Bicularosaurus. We talked about that one already. Your scalenes. You got your scalenes. There's basically like 3 scalenes. There's 3 sets, I believe, of scalenes. You got a front, anterior, middle, and posterior scalene, set of scalenes. And then you got your tergoid muscles. 1, 2. No, just the one lateral tergoid muscle. That helps to chew. That's actually one of your chewing muscles. Let me go to the next one. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video and see what I can come up with. Tune into our next video, which talks about let's see, we're going to talk about the muscles of the scapula next. Tune in next for the muscles of the scapula.